Howdy, it's Alexander here at AZ Firearms Auctions, taking a look at a few of the guns that we have coming up in our August 16th auction. Now, we don't have any centerfire, contemporary, modern things that need any FFLs to do the transfers. It's all going to be black powder. I think that's pretty cool, so I decided to pull a few and show you. So, first off, we have number 11. This is a knife gun, pretty much the opposite of a bayonet, because rather than being a big gun with a small knife, it's a big knife with a small gun. It's a .40 caliber, it's a German knife, but it's got a Spanish lock on it, little barrel. Pretty cool to see. It appears to work, but of course we haven't test fired it. Haven't test fired any of these. Kind of a little oddity and pretty cool to see. Next up we have a Fernwood 18 caliber jailer's key gun. Now these things came out sometime in the 70s and they were mail order at the time. It is a very tiny little gun, key, functioning black powder firearm. Super cool to see. Next up is my personal favorite. It is a Numeric Hopkins & Allen Underhammer. It's interesting to say the least. I absolutely love it. It is pretty much like if you described what a black powder firearm, a percussion cap firearm rather, how it works just to an engineer, told them to use as little parts as possible, this is what they would come up with. Let me bring you in a little closer and you can take a peek. So every part of the fire control group serves two purposes. The trigger guard to start is also the hammer spring. The hammer has a safety notch built into it, but also locks into the trigger, which serves as the sear. Beyond the screws and the springs, only two parts. Really cool to see, especially on something that would otherwise be super complex. Of course, that does mean that the percussion cap nipple is on the bottom. You don't jostle it around too much, shouldn't be an issue. I love it. Next up is one of the things that you don't actually see very often but gets talked about all the time. We have a 36 caliber duck's foot pistol. This one is made by CMC in Japan. It's one of those things that when you're talking about maritime history or pirate traditions, mutinies, these things come up all the time, but actually seeing one is pretty rare. Pretty cool to see. This is a 3-barrel. As I've mentioned, it is a 36 caliber, all firing from the same percussion cap. Brass body, steel barrels, doesn't get cooler than that, huh? Now, this one is a perfect case study of the Bubba traditions of our gunsmithing ancestors. It doesn't seem like it should work. It's got two different hammers, two different locks, two different triggers, two different barrels that were not originally on the same guns, but somehow it got all put together in a perfect and rather presentable looking combination gun, as they're called. Now, the barrel on the left is smoothbore, the barrel on the right is rifled. Cool thing to note is rather than have one set of sights going right down the middle, each barrel does have their own rear sight notches and front sight posts. Just cool to see. Now, once again, for the August 16th auction, it is only black powder firearms and a whole mess of ammunition. We are always buying and consigning firearms, ammo, and firearm accessories. Be sure to check us out August 16th at pogauctions.com, and I hope to see you there.